Shoot, people were chirping at me in Jacksonville. They were chirping. I was like, they started saying something, and it's cold. This is when the wind was hitting hard.
Yeah.
And they said something, and all I did, I'm not kidding you, all I did was like turn half, not even halfway, and kind of side eye them. And the person, like, there was somebody next. It was him. I swear it was him. Like, we're telling him to shut up. And I was like, I shook my head and just looked forward. Like, don't do that.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Chris Rose Football Show with CJ Uzomah, who is all smiley this holiday season because he has upped his studio game. Well done, sir. Well done.
Let's take a look at it, shall we?
Yes.
Wow.
What's in the middle?
The middle is from Mr. Cohen, who has made some huge moves. There's all this for the Mets.
Oh yeah.
But it's some of the sand, and yeah, it's a picture of the Mets Stadium.
Oh, nice, of Citi Field. Very nice.
Yep.
I like your Chelsea.
Yeah, got Chelsea.
Very nice. Are those wood or what are those made of?
They're made of metal.
Metal.
Yeah. The boys won today 2-0. Big time result. And of course we got the Jets.
I've heard of them too.
Of course. Come on.
We got plenty to cover. Boy, it's been a few weeks since we've touched base. First of all, how were the holidays? You played last Thursday, so you had Christmas off. What'd you do?
Which was amazing. I think it's the first time in my career that I've had, I know for a fact it's the first time in my career that I've had Christmas off to be able to spend with my family. So yeah, my parents came up. They're still here actually because
they can't leave.
Yeah, flights are ridiculous right now. So they're gonna leave tomorrow morning, I believe. But yeah, parents came up, we just chilled, had a good time. Hung out at the house pretty much the entire time, opened some presents and watched a lot of movies, ate some turkey, hung out with the pup. That was about it.
What'd we watch?
So Christmas Day, we always watch 24 Hours of a Christmas Story for probably about 8 of those hours. And then we moved on to Elf because that's now becoming the new fan favorite. And then we ended up watching Knives Out 1 and 2. Just because it was on and we were like, why not? Let's check out and see what this is about. Yeah. So yeah.
I saw you wore Elf cleats.
Yeah, I wore I had Kelly, shout out Kelly White for these. She painted Elf, and then I had Jack Skeleton on there, and then we had on the Jack ones we had Ralphie wearing the pink bunny suit. And then on the Elf ones we had the Grinch stealing a Christmas tree. So she did really well for those on those. I wanted to wear them for the game, like in the game, but can't do that. So just wore them for pregame.
You can, but those will be some $25,000 cleats.
Well, yeah. So apparently, though, they can tell you to take off the cleats.
Oh, right. They did that to OBJ a few years ago.
Yeah. So I was like, man, if they're going to tell me to take them off, I might as well just not wear them out there.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, you can forget about that.
Those are sweet. Those were she did a really good job. I thought those were awesome.
No, they're great. Now what do you do with them? Do you put them in something and keep them forever, or do you sign them and do something for charity? What do we do?
I'm probably going to sign them and do something for charity with them. They are sweet, and I'd love to be able to keep them, but I can have her, do something else for me too. So yeah, I'm probably going to sign them and do something give them to charity. Yeah, look at those. You got the Ralphie in there. The Ralphie is awesome. I like that little touch of putting that in there. Because again, that's, grew up watching that the most. And then the Grinch, you got to have the Grinch in there. Jim Carrey's the Grinch though. That's the best one.
Yeah. Solid. No question.
Look at that.
I don't know. I'm kind of partial still to the cartoon character one.
Which is understandable. I just think that Jim Carrey does an amazing, I think he's phenomenal. I think that he killed that role.
So we talked about this. You are an only child. Do you still get showered with gifts?
I don't get showered with them for sure. My parents sometimes have a hard time buying presents for me. There was one Christmas where my mom had ended up buying something for me, but like the week before Christmas, I ended up just getting it myself, and she had no idea. And she was like, well, this is just come on, what are we doing? So yeah, it's sometimes tough for them, but yeah, they got me a Chelsea jersey, which is awesome because I didn't have the new Chelsea jersey. And then they got me some custom shoes, which a little delayed with everything, but yeah, they always have something creative that they end up getting me. That's pretty awesome.
What'd you buy them?
So they're actually renewing their vows in Italy. So or they were talking about maybe doing it in Italy. So my gift to them was paying for their trip and stay in Italy for their vow renewals.
That's a hell of a kid right there.
And I was like, yeah, why not? Like that. I my gifts are always I like um I like going somewhere, like doing something for gifts. So even like when we did the Secret Santa, I gave like the gift that I got, one of the guys was a trip to Pinehurst. Because I
Oh,
was yeah, because I'm just like I like experiences. So it's like,
sure.
yeah, I could get you like a sweet whatever, XYZ, some shoes or whatever, but like what would you remember? Like, I'm gonna get you this because that would be something memorable.
That's good. No, that's what it's all about. Experiences. I'm big into that. Who'd you get for Secret Santa?
I had the rookie. And so it was fun because so I'm sponsored by Nike. So I ended up getting all the guys Nike golf shoes. Um, so I had him open the Nike golf shoes that I got just because I could get those for free. And then I got him a Little Tykes golf set as a gag gift, and then some like Pro V1 like golf balls. And I was like, all right, there's your present. And he was like, oh, this is, this is sweet. Like, this is cool. Like knowing that I could get the shoes for free and then that pretty much the golf balls were his gift. And then I taped an envelope under the table that had the little like receipt of going to Pinehurst. So yeah, it was pretty good.
That's good. That was Luke Recker, right?
Say it again.
Who
Uh
isn't that
Jeremy Ruckert.
Jeremy Recker? My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
rookie.
Ricky. You call him the rookie. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So who got you?
So coach got me. Coach Mid got me.
Ron
And
Middleton?
yep, Ron got me. Coach Mid. And he got me a sous vide, which is sick because I see like things like that. I wouldn't I want like like the you put it in this you put a steak in there, you seal it up, it cooks it to like perfect temperature, and then you can
Oh.
eat it, whatever. And things like that I've wanted. I just don't buy myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that like that is my gift because it's like, oh nice. Like I've wanted that for a while. But like I to me, like I'm not gonna probably buy it for myself unless my parents or my coach ends up buying it for me. So that was a good gift. That was well thought out.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. I usually I don't get a ton of stuff. Like my wife will give me a new shirt or something, but I got to give it to her and my youngest son. My passion away from the sports world is building Legos.
Okay.
I love building Legos with my youngest son, who's now 17, but we've been doing it ever since he was little.
Yeah.
So he picked out Bowser from Mario Kart.
Mario. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How is that? So wait, when you get that, like how is it big, like huge, or like
Yeah, it's going to probably end up being, we just started it yesterday. We'll probably finish it today or tomorrow. It's probably going to
okay.
end up being this big.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, decent size.
Yeah, for sure.
Not life size power, not drawn to scale.
Well, yeah, I
But
mean that would take what, weeks?
yeah. But we've done some great ones. We did I think we did this probably will upset you. I think did we do Arsenal? There's definitely a soccer crib we
Ooh,
did.
sorry, I had to hold that one back there for a second.
Sorry about that.
No, that's
But
awesome though. I think that's awesome.
yeah, it's fun. That's our thing.
Yeah.
So once or twice a year we end up doing that. So it's fun. It's interesting when your kids get older. They're 22 and 17. It's they didn't even roll out of bed till like 1.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was up at like 11:45. Got to
Yeah.
sleep in. It was nice.
And then this weekend you get to go to Seattle for New Year's.
We do. We leave Friday too for this one. So
Oh,
we'll leave, yeah, just because it's a further flight, we'll leave Friday instead of Saturday. And we were gonna stay the night there because I'm pretty sure it's New Year's Day.
it is.
Um, but we're gonna head back afterwards just because traveling, I mean, it'd be a hassle to stay there for 4 days.
When you fly, I always forget this with football. So when you fly back, first of all, where do you guys park? Do you go to the stadium and then you bus there? Do you meet at the airport?
So yeah, we go to the facility in Florham, and then we bus to Newark,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a to be honest, it's a pain because like that's a 40-minute drive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always work like on the way there, it's never for me on the way somewhere is never as bad as like on the way back, obviously. So like even driving into the city, like I'm like, oh wow, like this felt like 30 minutes, but on the way back, it feels like an hour and a half. So after a game, no matter what, like when it doesn't matter win loss, it's just on the way back always feels like an eternity. So yeah, it kind of sucks to be honest, but yeah, we'll go to the facility and then just all of us bus over. And the bus ride's
Especially when
kind of fun.
you're rolling in at like 4 a.m. from a West Coast trip.
Well, and that's the thing. We haven't had one of those yet this year. And so yeah, it's gonna be I think it's a 4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock Eastern. Yeah.
Right,
So you guys won't take off until probably 9 o'clock Eastern at the
right,
earliest.
for sure. Wait, no. It'll be later than that. Trust me.
So from the end of the whistle, let's say game ends at 4 West Coast time.
Yep.
Wheels up you can't get up within 2 hours.
Mm. Ah, you should be able to in hindsight, but it takes it takes longer than it should. I think we stay at the stadium for another like hour, maybe hour
Wow.
and 15, and then it takes at least another hour and 15 to get everything put onto the plane. Um, so it's around 2.5, 2:45 sometimes. I forget what game it was, but we ended up having to like de-ice the plane for another 20 minutes, and
Great.
we're just sitting here like, all right, well, I mean, we're talking on the plane, so it's kind of fun, but then there's only so much you can talk about before you're just like, all right, I'm gonna go sit down and go to sleep.
Do you
So
talk about because the weather was nasty everywhere for the early games this week? I don't know how much you watched on Saturdays when most of the games are being played. The number of dudes who warm up shirtless astounds me. I do not. I get it. You're already tough in my eyes. Like you play pro football for a living. You are tough. What are we doing here?
yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not. I look, I know that I'm a tough guy. I don't need to prove it to anybody. I don't think. Like I know where my head's at. I think that my play plays for itself. Whatever. I'm gonna be warm. I'm gonna go out there for warm-ups. I'm gonna be comfortable. I'm gonna have no sleeves on during the game, so I'll get my fair share of it. Like David, hey, look, more power to you. Like he was getting his mind right. Mentally, he was like feeling good. If you gotta take yourself to that place, I'm happy for you. But for me, I'm going out with at least a long sleeve. I'm going out with a hoodie most of the time. More times than not, I'll be out there with a hoodie. Um, and it's kind of interesting. Like it's interesting to me because we have somebody that does it too. He'll go out shirtless, but then he'll have a hand warmer on, he'll have a face mask on and stuff. And I'm just like, well, what's the like if you're gonna
Right.
do it, you might as well come out with shorts also. Like you might as well just, I mean, if you don't feel cold, you might as well tell everybody, like, hey, like, I don't need a hand warmer, I don't need anything, I'm good. So that one to me, I don't know. I'm staying warm. I'm doing everything I can to stay warm.
You don't have to air it out, but who is it?
It's you don't have to air it out, but who is it? It's Will Park. No, I've told it to his face. I'm like, Will, what are you doing? Like, what? I'm just out here. I'm like, all right, good. Hey, get yourself right. And it helps him.
Yeah.
That's like a mental thing for him. He's like, no, I'm fine. All right, cool.
Here's the thing. I don't need to see anybody's nipples cutting glass at that time. Like, I'm good.
Listen, I am with you. You will not see that from me. You will see me in a hoodie, looking very as warm as I can, given the circumstance. But like Buffalo, like if you do that in Buffalo, they're like people. There's reports that people died.
I know.
I'm not trying to like just stay warm. What are we doing? My friend sends me Snapchats all the time of his dogs. His name's Jake Kumaro. He plays receiver
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, Coom. He's injured right now, but he'll send me Snapchats all the time of his dogs just like running around in snow every day. Snow just getting piled on. I'm like, dude, what? What do you do? He's like, I don't know. I'm bundled up. I'm staying warm. And then they'll send me like guys just whatever. I'm like, dude, what do you got? Like, what is wrong with you guys?
Kumaro, if I'm not mistaken, is the cousin of the Bosas.
He is. Yep. He's my guy. We came in together in Cincinnati. And we ended up, playing video games together for a while, and he has a son now who's an adorable baby. But so now that's the majority of the Snapchats are of his son or like his dogs,
Mm.
whatever. But he's a great guy. I love him to death.
Well, better that the dog's rolling around in the snow than the baby.
Yes, right, exactly. Baby
So,
staying in the house for him.
uh, what's the coldest game you played in? Has it been 0-ish?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's been 0.
Okay.
Wind chill probably a little bit less. All of them. I'm trying to think. Ooh, it might have been a Denver game. It might have been the only game I've only worn a jacket twice. One was
You
in
mean the
Cincinnati.
big puffy ones when you come on the sideline?
Yeah, I usually don't put those on. Um,
You're allowed to. They're for you.
no, I know. I see, and this is like that's like a mental thing for me. I'm like, I don't like the benches are hot. Like they start burning your butt when you sit on them long.
Really?
Oh yeah. Um, and so I'm like, I don't need that. Like I don't need to get too hot. Um, but in Denver, I think my second or third year, it was a night game and it was cold. And it was uncomfortably cold. So I think it was that. I think that was probably the coldest game that I've ever played in.
Are
But other than
you
that,
are you miserable when it's that bad out? I mean, are you just like, can we fucking get this game over?
not really. You don't think about it too much.
Really?
You really don't until you come off on the sideline. Like the sideline, you're like, oh wow, like it's hitting you hard. Like what game was it? Oh man, I was talking to Conk. Tyler Conklin and I were sitting on the benches together, and Coach had left, and we're like, wow, it's really not that bad. Like it's not raining that bad. It's not it's not that windy. It was Jacksonville. We're playing, and we're like, oh, it was supposed to monsoon, right? It's supposed to be terrible weather, blah blah. Blah. And we're like, oh, it's not that bad. We go out for another drive. We come back on the bench, and it starts just like the rain sideways, and the wind's hitting you in the face. And I was like, dude, we spoke way too soon. Like because like we didn't feel anything out there, but right when we sat down, it's just like, oh, instant just chills, and it's not going anywhere, and it's constant. So outside of that, you don't really think about it. Like you're on the field, you're trying to worry about other things kind of. TV timeouts suck.
Yeah.
They're the worst. Like first quarter can fly by, then all of a sudden you think to yourself, TV timeouts are going to kill us. Like we're going to be out here for 2.5 minutes, huddled up, just like trying to get ourselves warm, and then right when the play's called, you forget about it.
And then I imagine halftime is the worst. Like when you have to go back out on the field, you're like, do we really?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
That's what I would imagine. It's not?
It's really not that bad.
Huh.
It really isn't. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's not that bad. For me,
Okay.
those are the only 2 times I think about it: TV timeouts, and when you're on the bench, just like, and something like there's a gust that hits you, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, here it
Got
is.
it.
Yeah.
So we're taping this on a Tuesday, and we just got news today that J.J. Watt is announcing his retirement after this season.
Yep.
Do you remember the first time you got a chance to play across from him?
Yeah. He was with Houston still. We played in Houston. We lost the game. And I just remember thinking, this guy's a freak. Like he's just like freak built. He's just strong and powerful. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I remember. I remember when we ended up losing that game, tough loss because we lost on a last second field goal. And ironically enough, I think it was a Christmas Eve game that we were playing on. So that was even tougher. And oh yeah, I remember a lot about that game actually because AJ Green was going to play and he was coming off an injury and then he didn't end up playing. And that to us was kind of like that killed us a little bit.
Kicking the jingle bells.
Yeah, 100%. We were like, oh man, AJ's not going to be able to play. This sucks. But yeah, even just watching him still, he's an unbelievable player. So I think it's cool the way that his post that he had with his baby's first game, watching him at home and then his last game at home. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, he's had a hell of a career.
Oh yeah, he is.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I saw another stat today that he has 15% of the franchise's sacks.
Really?
You see it? That's ridiculous. So yeah.
Well, they've been around 2 decades. He was a part of it for most of one.
Right.
And he was dominant. He was just, that's the thing. They would move him all up and down that line where I imagine you had to try and block him at some point.
Yeah, I got some help. I had help for sure, which was necessary. I'm like, the way that I think about that too, it's like this guy's terrorizing tackles who get paid to block guys like this, who get paid to try to block guys like this. And you guys want me to do this solo? Give me a little like help. We chip on the perimeter for pass rushers. Like, give us a little chip or something. Like, give us a hand. So we had a scheme that, it helped. It was tight end friendly for that game for sure.
Who the hell is it? Because I've seen that at times where tight ends are supposed to just one-on-one block an edge rusher. Who's coming up with that and is thinking that's a good idea?
I'll tell you who's not coming up with it.
Tight ends?
I mean, I think it's a good mix-up. I do. Depending on the situation, depending on when it's called, I think it's a good mix-up just because it's unexpected. You're expecting, if I were to think about it, a defensive end is expecting like a chip or something, just like hit and whatever the case is, and not expecting a one-on-one block. So I think it is like a nice mix-up. If you have a cross sift, a nice mix-up just to be like, instead of cutting or showing that it's a run the entire time, you just pass block. But in terms of it being like a long 7-step drop, I'm gonna step into the pocket, we need the play to develop. It's not the most ideal. But as Mid says, you just handle it. That's what he says to handle it. Whatever it is, handle it. So that's
Eric Dickerson used to fill in on the Best Damn Sports Show period a lot. And ED, not a great broadcaster, but great at storytelling and talking about himself. And he said when he was a rookie, he had to block Lawrence Taylor.
No shot.
One-on-one, and he cut him. Okay? Yeah. And Lawrence Taylor got up and went right to his face. He goes, "You do that one more time, I'm going to fucking rip your head off and kill you." And he ran off the sidelines. He goes, "That man is crazy. Do not have me block him again."
I was about to say, you better have said, "I don't want to do it anymore." Like, sir, I would have said, "Yes, sir. Gotcha. I'm off." Like, we'll bring somebody else in here.
Because there are guys who are legitimately crazy on the field, aren't they? Like, they turn into something different than a human being. I've seen it.
Yeah. There are some people that just give you some crazy eyes. Like, you look across and you're just like, "Oh, this person's not right in the head right now." Like, after, like you said, after the game, normal. Like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Good game." During the game, it's just like just like Hicks. Like, Hicks is crazy. Like, he'll just look at you.
Hicks?
He's crazy.
Who you're talking about? Akeem Hicks?
Yeah, he's nuts. Like, he will look at you in the huddle and just start licking his lips and like wide-eyed, like, "I'm gonna kill you." It's like okay, all right, it's gonna be one of those. Gotcha. So yeah, there are guys like that for sure. I think I'm trying to think when I usually cut people like cross sift, whatever, like even if I'm just backside cutting somebody off and I cut them, they get mad and they start talking crap. But like, my response the entire time is like, "Do you want me to stand up and block you? I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to prolong both of our lives right now and our careers by just like not hitting ourselves in the head over and over and over again. So I'm going to dive at you." Like,
but I remember there was some sort of poll many, many years ago. Guys were asked, would you rather have guys cut at your knees or hit you in the head? Guys were like, "Go take my knees."
Oh yeah, defensive guys.
Yeah, they were saying, don't take my knees.
For sure. Yeah. I understand that from a defensive standpoint, but from an offensive standpoint, I would much rather. I'm not going to do that.
Interesting.
Let's
get on to your team. Unfortunately, since we last spoke, you haven't won a game. So now this is essentially a playoff game for you guys in Seattle. If you lose, you're out. Did Robert Saleh mention that at all? Do you, as a veteran leader of this team, try and calm nerves? How do we handle this week?
Yeah, I mean, he mentioned it in terms of just saying like we're still in. I mean, everything we needed to happen happened. Um, which is absolutely like watching the games, we're just like
Yeah.
another one, another one, and another one. And we're like, oh my gosh, like that's silver platter. Like, do what you need to do now,
Yeah.
which is insane. Um, but aside from that, like once he said that, it's still like none of that matters if we don't handle our business, right? Like none of it, like
It's
we
true.
can get all the gifts we want to, but if we don't handle our responsibility and we don't come out with wins, then it doesn't matter. So that's pretty much the message. That's the message that he said. That's the message that's going to be um relayed from me to everybody else the entire rest of the week. And I think most of the guys know that. Um because it's not about for us, it's not about the playoffs. It's about winning this game because if we don't win this game, nothing else matters. Um so yeah, that's the big point of emphasis I think that he started addressing and that we're kind of addressing in the locker room.
I imagine that you were the one rushing Mike White around to those 10 doctors last week who didn't clear him. And then finally, he got cleared earlier this week. I know that you and Mike are very close. Did he call you before the news got out? You're like, I'm back.
No, no, he didn't. I saw it on. We didn't have to show in or show up on Monday until 1, and then we had a little bit of a longer Monday afterwards, just because people were traveling from flights were getting canceled, people were traveling.
Right.
Um, so I saw on social media before I even stepped in that building, because he had to be there a little bit earlier than everyone else just to do rehab and things like that. Um, but yeah, we've been texting today because he got tagged in something like an edit that someone made, and that person tagged a bunch of like the players in it. Um, and so he sent me the song that they tagged him in. So we talked a little bit, but um, yeah, I'm for me, I'm just happy that his health's okay. I'm happy that he's feeling better in general because I know that was tough a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he just when we got in the locker room, he was just like, dude, I feel so much better than I did. Just having time to reset, having time with the family, being able to spend it, with the family. It was nice for him. So yeah, he's feeling really good.
The shots he took in Buffalo were brutal.
Yeah, yeah, they were bad, and that's something that I think we're gonna get addressed too. That's gonna get addressed. I mean, just in general. I mean, even last week with Zach, he took some shots that like that shouldn't happen in protection, right? Like you shouldn't be hot off of this person, this protection when it's this situation, and we know this situation. And so I think that's the biggest thing to me um that's most not troubling, I guess, but like that gets under my skin. I guess it pisses me off, whatever, is how everyone's just like pointing the fingers at Zach. And it's not a one, like that's the beautiful thing about football. It's not a one person show, right? Like it's not soccer, right? Messi can just dribble around everyone. Ronaldo can dribble around anyone, score, like whatever. It's Messi's the GOAT. Cool. Like basketball, one player can take over. Like, yeah, there's aspects of that in football, but it takes for the most part, it takes all 11, right? So the fact that he gets bashed as much as he does, like in this New York media market is tough for for a teammate to hear. Um, especially when like I think it was the first drive, third play of the game, he gets absolutely destroyed. I get smoked. And I don't play quarterback, but I'm sure that has like a factor that like in his head, he's like, oh shoot, is this person gonna be like hot off the edge again that like we should have taken care of? Um, so yeah, when you see your quarterback take those hits, like for me, it makes me mad. I'm like, what's like, is it a play call? Is it protection error? Was it on him? Like what? Like was that my fault? Like what happened there? Like you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's that Buffalo game was tough. Jacksonville was even tough. Um, so we're gonna make sure Seattle's not tough for the quarterback.
But you kind of understand it. I mean, you're a bright guy and you pay attention with the Zach Wilson stuff. Like it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, for him to a win back a fan base and maybe even to win back people that are decision makers in the organization. Like you guys look, I don't know how much you see it or whatever. When we watch the Jets just strictly as fans here, the team looks different when Mike White's there as opposed to Zach Wilson right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like people again, I hear so much more on social media than I do like from because the organization tries to keep things hush hush.
Right.
Um, But then like you see things on social media, and I'm just like, when did that like? Did you guys hit like Conk's my guy, so I'll ask Conk. Like Conk and I, we're tight ends, we're boys. Like we're if we're gonna talk crap about somebody or something or like another team, whatever it is, like we just bounce ideas off
Right.
each other. So I'm
Guys
like,
are
hey,
tag team.
yeah. I'm like, did you hear this? And he's like, no, I saw it on social media. I'm like, yeah, same. Did you see it on Instagram? He's like, no, I saw it on Twitter. I'm like, who said that? When did that come out? So like things like that, like completely over our head. Like I don't even like I, I could honestly I couldn't even tell you because I'm like, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know like what's going on. Um, I do know that like seeing that's the thing. Like for me, it's I I, I think about me and Conk and the like you'll hear the same message from him when we talk and when he talks to anybody. It's just like whoever's in the huddle, like we're trying to just ride for our boys. Like, and that's the thing. Like Zach's the homie. He lives like a couple doors down from me. He's the homie. And Mike's the homie. Strev's the home. Like all of the quarterbacks for us, like we're boys. You know what I'm saying? Like the quarterbacks have this is the dumbest. This is the when I talk about the dumbest thing, I'm gonna look in the camera. This is the dumbest thing they do. They call each other the sauna boys because they go in and they sauna together for 20 minutes and then they go and they cold tub for 5 minutes. And like that's a thing. It's like it has health benefit. Cool. But they call each other the sauna boys. What in the are you guys serious? Like you guys are my boys, but I can't get behind that. That's just weird. That's absurd to me.
I
But
smell a t-shirt coming.
no, they wanted to get robes that had like they wanted to get merch for each other. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's a great idea. You should.
Sauna for 20, ice bath for 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
The 25 club.
I love that. Oh, I might have to get that for them. I'll make some magic and try to get that for the boys. But that's the thing, like they're the boys, right? Like you want to ride for your boys and you want to play your hardest for your boys. And I don't know, that's my mentality. I'm not trying to have or hear the crowd boo Zach. I'm trying to give it my all just so that doesn't happen. Right. And so I don't know. That's my mindset. I know that's Conk's mindset. That's majority of the guys' mindset is just like, dang, like we're family. Like I'm not trying to have my brother get booed off the field or like someone, kind of disrespect them. Shoot, people were chirping at me in Jacksonville. They were chirping. I was like, they started saying something and it's cold. This is when the wind was hitting hard.
Yeah.
And they said something, and all I did, I'm not kidding you, all I did was like turn half, not even halfway, and kind of side eye them. And the person, like, there was somebody next. It was him. I swear it was him. Like, we're telling him to shut up. And I was like, I shook my head and just looked forward. Like, don't do that. Don't talk. Don't try to do that. So yeah, that was. And Conk's just laughing. He's like, "What they say?" I'm like, "I have no idea what they said, but they shut up. That's all I care about."
Well, Wilson's first game back, you did have a couple of touchdown grabs, your first 2 of the year against Detroit.
Yep.
That was very nice to see.
Yeah.
I was super excited. I watch all the games at work because I do a couple of shows on Sundays, and everybody's like, your boy's scoring. I was like, yeah, he's doing his thing. I wasn't nearly as excited as our one-of-a-kind producer, the legendary Rob Scirocco, who is a lifelong Jets fan. And I believe he acted like this while holding his newborn.
Got cleats. Fuck yeah, man. Let's fucking go, dude. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's go, CJ. That's my guy.
While holding a baby.
I absolutely love that. Like that is that's the best video. That's the best video out there on the internet right now.
Yeah, it was CJ. I mean, dude, you catching it was awesome. I couldn't even, I mean, it's weird because it's like I'm such a Jets fan. So like just, because we do the Rose rotation as well in baseball, and I'll see them hit a home run and I'll go like kind of, all right, even if it's against the Yankees or something like that. Yeah. But having you here in the family, I can't even, it's awesome.
Big deal.
Dude. It's a big
Come
deal.
on, stop that. Stop. No, I appreciate that. I really do.
I do feel a little bad for my newborn for cursing in his face. A little too much, but
I'm happy you didn't spike him.
Yeah, let's go. Oh,
sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, Scirocco.
I know, but it was awesome, dude.
I appreciate that. Thank you. No, that's amazing. You're teaching the baby young. That's all.
Absolutely, you have to. I mean, we
Yeah.
got them all. It's funny. My wife's from Philly, and her, all Eagles fans and everything like that. But my mother-in-law loves me so much that she got all my kids Jets gear. Yeah,
That's big.
That's huge.
It is. So
That's very big. Very,
Yeah.
very nice.
I need to send them jerseys.
So obviously we know about your passion for the other kind of football. I think you guys were in Minnesota maybe the day of the World Cup final. Was it Minnesota or you were taking on Buffalo? I forgot where you were.
I forget too now.
But you were watching the final between
But the final
Argentina.
the final was a home game.
Oh, that was a home game.
It was a home game.
All right. So that was the Lions game then, must have been.
Yeah, it was the Lions game. It was when they were going to PKs. They're announcing the defense. Jordan Whitehead gets announced. Everyone starts cheering like abnormally loud. And I'm sure Jordan in his head is like, what? Because it's loud. But it was the last PK that they had next to Jordan getting announced. They had Jordan, and then on the other screen, they had the PKs going on. And right when last PK was taken, and right when Argentina had won, they immediately shut it off. So you don't really, if I'm him, you probably didn't even see that was going on. But yeah, that was cool. That was cool to be able to see. And that was, talk about an unbelievable final. Like that was
unbelievable. One of the greatest sporting events ever.
For sure. Hands down. 4 billion people watching that. Like that. Whew, I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad that, in the stadium when we're warming up, it was being played. And it was nuts because we had just warmed up. We had just gone inside, and the rookie Ruck was coming in, and it was 3-2, and Messi had just scored, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he just won it. Like this is it. And I go inside, I start getting my mind right, and Ruck comes in, and he's like, they just scored again. Mbappe just got a hat trick. And I was like, there's no way. I just walked inside. Like, what's going on? And so, yeah, then we start watching a little bit of the PKs, and then we go out there and the PKs are still going on. So, yeah, that was a fun final to watch.
Heck yeah, it was. It was unreal. And it ended
insane.
just before all the early kicks got going in NFL circles. So
yeah,
that was freaking awesome.
It was
really
cool because Mike also, after the second touchdown, Mike said, who do you think you are, Messi? And I was like, that's so sick. Messi scored 2. I scored 2.
So I saw a bunch of your teammates came and checked out your Broadway show. They
did. Yeah, it was that was fun. That was awesome that I got to experience that with them. Yeah. Zach was getting slack too because Zach wasn't in this picture, but Zach drove separate. Like he drove his car, so he wasn't in that picture. He was trying to find parking, which parking in New York, good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right, so who is everybody from left to right?
So we got E, offensive lineman. We got Mike White. We got myself rocking an incredible mustache. Unreal. We got Glazer. We got Rookie. And we got Brax.
Very nice.
We got the boys there.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good. I do this show, the Rose Rotation. I just interviewed a guy who was a rookie last year for the Kansas City Rose, Vinny Pasquantino. And he is a huge, huge Jets fan. Enormous, okay? And we just did this right before I did the show with you. He actually had this to say about you. We have the football show with Chris Rose and CJ Uzomah that I'm actually about to tape later today.
Yeah, and he's great because, him co-producing a Broadway play, that's unbelievable. Like, I am a thespian myself. So, like, him doing that, I saw that was super cool. Like, one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen.
Yo, let's go. I gotta meet up with him. No, that's amazing. It's funny. It's not funny. It is interesting to me too how many, like, him saying that, like, he's like, I'm a thespian myself. It's fun that coming out and hearing how many people, like, in the locker room enjoy going to plays. Because I know one of the guys, Solomon Thomas, he is a huge thespian. Like, I think he's seen MJ 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times. Seen a bunch of other shows as well, and So that is awesome. The fact that he said that too, that's oh man, that just made my day.
He was this close. He's actually going up to Seattle this week. He's doing some baseball work up at Driveline, which is kind of an off-season place where dudes can just get better at baseball. He's like, I can't stay for Sunday's game, and it's killing me. I was like, man, if so, you got to get on the field and meet CJ.
I know, like, yeah.
I would love to. He goes, I'm telling you this, though. They get into the playoffs, I'm going wherever they're going. I was like, okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, no, you gotta put us in touch. If he ends up staying for he has something he has to do?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say. If he ends up staying for Sunday, I'd love to.
I know he's very upset about it. I'll even tell him this now, and now he's really going to be ticked off.
Yeah, tell him I would have had him covered. So, yeah, we'll have to get in the playoffs so we can get him on the field and do a proper little introduction before the offseason.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. All right, I think that'll cover it, man. Unless you want to wear your bunny outfit one more time with the stash.
The bunny outfit, the bunny outfit ripped in a couple of places, so I ended up having to trash that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the look you've got on that.
I had to put the glasses on because I shot my eye out. You can't see, but there's no lenses in them because I shot both of them out.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was actually supposed to be for Mike White, because there's a lot happening, as the caption's hilarious. But yeah, right when there's a rip in the left calf, and then right when I got into the locker room and I sat down, it just ripped right along the butt. So that one had to go in the trash. But Mike was supposed to wear that because Auburn beat Western, and he didn't. He was like, I don't know, I'll wear it out of the stadium. I'm like, no, you got to wear it into the stadium. So I was like, forget it, I'll wear it. Like, why not? And it was just incredibly small. So
I was going to say that's built more for Mike White than CJ Uzomah. I could be wrong here.
1,000%. I got an XL. I haven't worn an XL in, I don't even, like, freshman year of high school, maybe. like maybe sophomore year when I was rocking some high waters on accident and getting made fun of for it. Like, outside of that, that was a rough one.
Yeah. Good luck, though. It's good luck. You almost pulled it off.
Yeah.
This close.
Thank
this
you.
close. But listen, man, I wish you luck. We're rooting for your Jets now that my Browns have been officially eliminated. I don't think you want anybody from Cleveland rooting for your team because it's disaster waiting to happen, but I'll do it anyway.
We'll take it. We'll take it all. We'll take all the fan support we can get.
Yeah, I think you guys need to. I know you got to take care of your own business, but I think this is it. I think you guys need the Patriots to lose to the Dolphins this week. Then you win, and then you guys win at Miami next week. I think that's enough to take care of it, but could be wrong.
I'll take your word for it.
Just keep winning.
I honestly, there was something that came out today. Like, I think the Jets, I know the Jets posted something with a little link that said, like, here's the thing, or here's I don't know what the caption was.
Right.
And then underneath it, before I clicked on it, it said playoff picture, whatever. And I was like, I'm not even going to click on this. I'm not, like, I can't, because like, yeah, exactly. It's just like, you just do
all you have to know is you're still alive if you win.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's it. That's all. Handle it. That's it.
Have a good, safe trip. I want everybody to fly home first class, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
Yep.
Okay. And have a happy, healthy New Year. You've been a huge addition, not only because you're, 7 feet tall and weigh 270 or whatever you are, but you've been a huge addition to our family, and we greatly appreciate that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Have a happy New Year.
Absolutely. For our one-of-a-kind producer, the guy who swears at the top of his lungs when holding a baby, Robbie Scirocco, and CJ Uzomah. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you next time on the Chris Rose Football Show with CJ Uzomah.